So welcome to my world, Glenn Foster. Hi, yeah,
I've
Glenn.
been in your world for a long time.
I know.
Welcome to my world.
I know. I was so
I haven't
pleased.
seen your world for a long time, but I have been to this world before.
Yes. So anyway, we are celebrating 40 years of you being a successful stand-up comic. You write your own material. You've had so many TV shows. What's happening these days for Glenn Foster, that Canadian guy?
Well,
Yeah.
Since COVID, I have been doing more shows. Now, as you know, you've sort of followed my career. I've been kind of in a never-ending battle with political correctness for at least since the '90s, I would say. And it's interesting because I can look back at old video and just watch the progression or digression, I guess, because everything's moved into wokeness and safe spaces and all that, which are not necessarily bad things, but extremes of anything are a bad thing, and I think we've really gone off the deep end with some of this stuff.
But you've come up for air and you are sharing.
I am finding new. My game has always been poke the bear and try not to get your head ripped off. Well, lately, go see Cocaine Bear, by the way.
Oh, I was just going to say that.
Speaking
That
of
looks
heads being ripped off.
that looks insane.
My God, that movie was crazy.
And now we're going to have Cocaine Beaver,
Yes.
Cocaine Squirrel, Raccoon.
And here's the thing too. If you read the original story about my friend said the bear didn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
So Hollywood has ruined this bear's life now, because he's not going to get another job, because everybody's going to think, it was a she, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a she bear.
Oh my gosh.
Now we've totally gone off the rails, which is something else that I do. I get on a subject and then get very quickly off the subject, going into tangents and whatever. It's a bit of an
that's
ADD,
okay.
ADD thing.
And it's comedy. You're fine.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes the laughter leads you somewhere else.
Right. So in the process of gingerly trying not to offend, because I'm never trying to offend, what I'm trying to do is get as close as possible, so close to the line. In fact, sometimes I like to be, my favorite place is right on the line, so that people are like, is this offensive? I just laughed, so...
It's
that's another thing.
Danger, yeah.
Do not laugh and then tell me it's not funny.
Exactly.
Right?
Which brings us back to the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. The guy was laughing at Chris Rock.
Well, there's that. There's that. Yeah, I just saw Chris Rock's special and I thought it was great. And so the game for me is always get as close to the line as possible, or preferably on the line. And it does make, I've had a club owner say, well, you're making people uncomfortable. Yes.
That's what comedy is.
Yes, I am making people uncomfortable so that a second later there's this massive release when I do something that isn't offensive.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When it gets so, it looks like, he's headed for that line, he's gonna go over, and he didn't. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Big laugh, right? And I think the laughs are bigger because of it. And I think comedy should involve a little bit of discomfort.
It's like that danger principle.
It is.
And do you remember when we first brought Sam Kinison into Yuck Yucks?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God.
Right. It was a earth-shattering moment because no one had ever seen anything like that. Right?
And he was brilliant, but gone too soon.
So now I'm trying to find, as well as trying to find the line, because there's all these topics that are really hot button issues, pronouns and white privilege and all this. And what I really should do is just not touch any of these. But that is not my nature.
No.
my self-destructive nature, if you will. I don't know why I make this so hard for myself. But I do. I make it harder than it needs to be. And I don't know why, but I do. And I get some kind of thrill out of that. I get some kind of thrill out of a joke that takes me so close to the edge of people stringing me up and then going, all right, I like what you did there, but oh boy, you had me going. I was really concerned.
And you've had us going for 40 years, 4 decades. So,
but I haven't always been that way. I mean, I think it was when I sometimes like to say that George Carlin ruined my life. Because until I was aware of Carlin, it was enough to be funny.
Yeah.
But as soon as I became aware of Carlin and Bill Hicks and even Jon Stewart and Bill
Yeah.
Maher and all these kind of guys, it was like, well, can you be funny and have a point?
Yeah.
Right? And that is so much harder
Yeah.
than just being funny.
Yeah.
Right? But also, I think, more rewarding. Right? But you also don't want to get into the preachy end of it either.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We'll talk about that
We will.
later.
We will.
Thanks, Glenn.